ink-a-dink, 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 ink-a-dink. Wow! You really want to do that? You know, really not supposed to. I mean, you know, Basil said, said, look, I got this show that I'm after, this contract. I'm 99% of the way there. I mean, I'm going to get it. I am going to be the new TV show on Comcast, also on Cablevision. Yeah, that'll make you look a little bit more certain of it. And nothing's going to change. So I'm going to keep on using the Scrabble board just to show that even though he's quite certain that he's got it, and nothing's going to change, and he's going to go to the to the big hoop to do in Philadelphia, he says, and he's going to get it. So what's the difference? So we got the Scrabble board, and got our audience member too. So we've got our Scrabble board, and on the Scrabble board we have some names. We've got Kenneth Starr, who's been in the news recently because you know, he's been out of the news for quite a while. I mean, he goes back to the 1990s when he was named a special prosecutor to investigate a land deal in Arkansas known as Whitewater. And of course, once we had Watergate with Richard Nixon, every scandal involving a president, or pretty much any scandal involving anyone of note, gets the word gate attached to it, and who knows why, but it just happens that way. So it was a rub, not a scratch nor a pick. So Ken Starr, or actually as we have him here, Kenneth Starr, because he's was elevated to president, chancellor, the head of some. Well, it actually was a pretty prominent university, Baylor, in Waco, Texas, or as Basil likes to refer to it as Waco, Texas, because it goes back to another incident during the first Clinton administration, where a guy by the name of David Koresh had a cult following, as you know, it happens periodically. You have some guy who claims to be the next coming of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, and he has followers that are silly enough to believe him. And he gets a group together and is pretending that everybody's after him, and they hole up in a place in Idaho or in Texas or somewhere out in the countryside, and cross their fingers and hope that somebody in authority comes after them before they run out of food. Because that would be bad, having to go back out of the streets and panhandle for money for food, and not be the Messiah. So they're there, And unfortunately, Bill Clinton has the Justice Department look into it, and it just becomes a big hoop to do, and worse than that, it ends up with a bunch of people dead. And which just reinforces in the minds of people that hate the government, or as they refer to it in their own special language, the government. It reinforces all their minds that the government is out to get everybody, so they need to take their respective groups and hole up in a place and cross their fingers and hope that the government comes after them so they can make a big, go out in a blaze of glory. So Justice Department decides that they can't see anything going on in there in the this compound, and needless to say, that means that there's something going on. So they make a circle around it and watch them for days and days and days, and somehow or other something gets a canister of tear gas or something or other gets shot into the compound. Place catches on fire, and a lot of people end up being murdered. And I think, even those of us that don't agree with these crazy lunatics, would agree that that when you kill somebody that you really, in fact, have no evidence that they're doing anything illegal, that's the government or the government overstepping their bounds, and it just reinforces all the other people and other wackos around the world, and particularly here in America, where we seem to have a lot of homegrown crazies. So at any rate, so Kenneth Starr is his name, special prosecutor, and he starts out with Whitewater and moves on to a bunch of other things, and spends a lot of taxpayer money. And the best at the end, the best he can come up with is one of their snoops knows a woman named Monica Lewinsky, who has been apparently doing some dusting under the desk at the Oval Office in the White House, and has gotten something, Elmer's glue, who knows what it was, ends up squirting onto her dress, and she brings it home and puts it in her closet. It's not everybody gets an opportunity to have Elmer's glue squirted on their clothing. So she takes it home, and then she tells her friend about that, Linda Tripp. And Linda Tripp goes to the investigator and says, wow, look at, I have a feeling that that's not Elmer's glue on my friend's dress. Probably because her friend Monica had told her that it wasn't Elmer's glue. And then she's been, and there are pictures that show Bill Clinton, President Clinton, reaching into a crowd of people and, giving her a little stroke on the cheek and a little pat on the buttocks, and so this becomes a big deal, and they call President Clinton in, and he graciously comes in and testifies that he did not have a can of Elmer's glue or a tube of Elmer's glue anywhere near the Oval Office, and that was it. And he wags his finger just to make sure that people understand what he means. And he's lying. And since he's under oath, then that's in and of itself becomes an impeachable offense in the mind of a lot of people. The House of Representatives gets as much mileage out of it as they can to prevent having to actually conduct any business of any other sort. And they end up filing impeachment articles against President Clinton. Maybe I should clarify that, the first President Clinton, because apparently apparently Basil, just like Basil's got it wrapped up, he thinks he's got the show wrapped up. Never mind the Scrabble board. Never mind whether he had permission or not. Every cat's entitled to a mistake once in a while. So, the presumed second President Clinton stands with her husband and announces that there's all kinds of and there were all kinds of crazy lunatic conspiracies against them. 50 people that they allegedly murdered, and all kinds of zanery about some alleged chicanery. So the Scrabble board. So here we are. We've got the Scrabble board. It's got Kenneth Starr. It's got Hillary. No, it's Rodham. Rodham. Get out of here. Basil said. So that's Rodman. What in the world? Well, what? No, it's Rodham. 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 Not Rodman. Oh. So Basil's making a prediction that... Can I announce it now? Is it a prediction you're standing behind? Says Dennis Rodman. When you see him with his hair and his tattoos and his piercings and his he's got a nice smile. He's a decent fellow. Knew how to play some basketball, and for a relatively small guy, he was an incredible rebounder. The new ambassador, and actually new ambassadorship, because there is no ambassadorship yet. The new ambassador to North Korea, and he's going to go over there and keep the boy king, the boy president over there entertained. Does that mean James Franco's not going to have to go back there and try to blow him up again? Basil said. He said, that's been done. That's been done. But there's another boy king that's replaced him. Hold on. Okay. Not the Inky Dinky phone. Oh, hold on, I found it. The micro Inky Dinky phone. Hold on, I gotta be very careful with it. Dropped it again. See? There it is. Can you see it? Thank you for calling Basil BuddhaCat Presents. And whom are we speaking with? It's Twinkie. Check Tweety. Check this out. Cross-reference the phone number and let us know. Is it? Apparently true. It's John Boehner calling from Washington. John Boehner, I think, is still in the Congress. I don't think he retired. He's still in the Congress. He was the Speaker of the House for a while, and the crazier wing of the Republican Party, as opposed to just the crazy wing of the Republican Party, threw him out. Wanted probably Donald Trump as the Speaker of the House, even though he wasn't actually and isn't actually in the House of Representatives. So, okay. So, put his name up on the screen. Okay. So, Mr. Boehner, what have you been doing these days since you've not been Speaker of the House of Representatives? says he says he's got his own show, and he's got permission, and explicit permission from Scrabble trademark. He's got explicit permission from Scrabble to use their Scrabble board to communicate. Okay. Well, that's, I sure wish Basil had that permission. Because, we're in a lot of trouble. We're in a lot of trouble, apparently, because, we had this big show set up. We've begun taping some episodes, and we're thinking we got it made, and we've got, corporate sponsors lined up, and he says he took all our corporate sponsors and then some. Well, Basil's not happy to hear that. Okay. So Basil's telling me that, and I have to quote him first, of course. Says, he's not getting the shows anyway. Screw Scrabble. Never mind screw Fox News. Here comes cat news. Screw Scrabble. And they can come after us. We got nothing to come after anyway. We got nothing, we got no cha-ching to come after. So, well, good luck with the show. We'll be looking for it on, kids. Watch the internet for, what's the show going to be called? Representative Boehner says it's called I Got Your... Wait. Could you spell that out? Well, if that gets on television, if that gets on television, we want to recount. Basil and I want to recount if that gets on television. Because, and they got a hotline, too. They're stealing our idea for a hotline to the hereafter. And he's going to have constant conversations and call-ins from Soupy Sales. And going to repeat all Soupy Sales' jokes. Oh, by the way. So, Soupy, too bad. We're going to beat you to this one. So, Soupy goes to the baseball game with his girlfriend, whose name is Peaches. And they go to the baseball game, and Soupy is kissing Peaches. A lot of pitches that come across the plate. And the umpire yells, strike. So Soupy's kissing Peaches in between the strikes. And in response, Peaches is kissing Soupy in between them. Balls! Hey! That came from the show going on next door. That's not us, and it's a completely different situation. So that's not. Basil, you got to have a conversation with Kristen about this. So there you go. So, well, good luck on your show. If we had... Okay. How do you hang this thing up? Set it down. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay. So we've got Kenneth Starr here on the Scrabble Board. No longer give a hoot whether it's trademark or not. Kenneth Starr, Hillary Rodham Clinton, and that's Rodham, not Rodman. Clinton, and we've got Donald Trump. And like on a Ouija board, the letters are mysteriously rearranging themselves right before our eyes. And okay, you know. Okay. I never would have figured that one. Oh. How do these things do this? How do they rearrange themselves? Basil said, never mind, just watch. I want to quote Chris Matthews. Ha! Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep. Okay. I've taken all the extraneous tiles. I don't want to get anything up here that aren't built out of. Oh Jesus! Look at that one, Basil. Oh, hold on. Yeah, Walter's not interested. Besides, it would be overtime. It's over 40 seconds for the work week, and she's just back from her vacation. You see that? Okay, so I'm just clearing out the extra tiles. Oh, look at that! Oh, now you're coming out of the break room, so you're not getting paid for this. Okay. Apparently, Walter doesn't want to watch the letters rearranging themselves. Walter wants to rearrange the letters. And by the way, it's been a while since we mentioned this, the minor fact that Walter came to us at the tender age of about 3 months. And came advertised as a male, and apparently on cats. Apparently, nice. Sorry, I can't share it with you. Walter came advertised as a male cat, and apparently on male cats, the testicles, genitalia and testicles. Sometimes, I guess that's a part of the package, huh? That's why they call it a package. Don't descend until they're 5 or 6 months old. By the time Walter was 5 or 6 months old, we came to the conclusion that Walter was misnamed, and she was Walter at that point. There was nothing we could do. Oh, jeez. So there was nothing we could do, so we just continued to call her Walter, and Oswald Cobblepot, he came to us. He was already full grown, so there was no doubt in anyone's mind whether Oswald was an Oswald or not. So, of course, he came with the name Sa from his family, which is Chinese for Sa. And he mysteriously, I guess we rearranged the letters in Sa, S-A, and all of a sudden there was Oswald Cobblepot just jumping out at us, and oh jeez. Oh my. Well, this okay, so we're going to get in trouble from Scrabble anyway. We might as well make a go of it. So we're going to keep, we'll probably come up with some other ones between now and next week, and we'll share them with you. And when the sheriff's at the door, we'll hide the Scrabble board. So this has been Basil BuddhaCat presents. I'm Basil BuddhaCat presents. Exclamation point. I'm David Stevenson, Basil's co-host, interpreter and chief gopher, and Lil. Yeah, Lil. Lil's on the phone still, of course, but she's here. When she passed away in October, it'll be 2 years in October. She took a little time in recombining herself and came back on the following Easter. The calico cat came back as the calico stone, and I saw a couple of hairs on there somewhere. Look at that. Huh. So the calico cat came back as a calico stone, and yada yada and da da da. So it's been Basil BuddhaCat presents, and also Basil's chief gopher. I had to make sure I got that in there. And we'll see you next Friday. Have a blessed Sunday, and thank goodness we're not saying some of the things that Scrabble Board is sharing with us, because probably not appropriate for a Sunday morning. Bye.
They say they'd rob your grandma blind on Wall Street, on Wall Street. Fritter her away her Medicare on Wall Street. And Pharma Oil and their pet fox don't care if she lives in a box, so long as they wear platinum jocks on Wall Street, on Wall Street. Meow.